Hey everybody, welcome back to Gingerbeard Collectibles, and in today's video I'm going to go over my 5 favorite action figures that I currently own, or action figure sets, as you will see. First off, I want to start with this Venom figure. He is actually just an honorable mention in this list, as he is actually the knockoff of the Revoltech Yamaguchi figure. I purchased him. I'd seen a bunch of online reviews of people comparing them to the original and the actual Revoltech figure, and I found him super cheap, so I just wanted to kind of see what all the hype was about. And realistically, for my purposes of just displaying him up on the shelf, he's actually really good. The sculpt is good. I know that it's basically just taken off of a high dollar, high end figure, so obviously it's going to look, pretty good. But all my joints and everything are solid. Everything, he's super posable and all that. But because he is a knockoff, I'm not going to put him officially on the list, but like I said, an honorable mention for him. So to officially start the list at number 5 is my Gray Beast figurine. Growing up, the X-Men cartoon was one of my all-time favorites, along with Spider-Man and Batman. They were definitely my 3 favorite superhero cartoon shows. And unfortunately, I do not have Blue Beast yet. That's the one I'm really looking forward to. I do already have Blue Beast in the lab coat pre-ordered, but until then, this Gray Beast will have to do. But I do like the sculpt. I like the posability, the flexibility, everything involved with this one. I do. It's just overall just a really good, solid, pretty hefty figure. Coming in at number 4, I've got this Marvel Legends Retro Collection Rhino. Again, Spider-Man being one of my favorite cartoons growing up, I really love this figure here. He is one of the large figures, but he is very sturdy and posable, and you can get him, and he just kind of has that classic Rhino look to him that I remember from watching the show. And as you can see, I got him on one of my favorite covers back here that I have for the Spectacular Spider-Man. But there's not too much to say about him other than I really do enjoy the sculpt that he's got. He does have more of that look that I remember as a kid, and again, he's really solid, pretty hefty. Overall, one of my favorites that I have right now. Alright, and coming in at number 3 on my list is my pair of Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man figures. I put them together because they are essentially the exact same figure, just with different head sculpts and paint apps. You got your classic Spidey, red and blue, super posable. Absolutely love this figure here. I do have the Renew Your Vows Spidey on pre-order, so I'm looking forward to getting him in and maybe doing some comparisons between the two, but I absolutely love this one here. And then, of course, Black Spidey, the classic black suit Spider-Man. Everybody loves black suit Spidey. It just looks really cool on display. The only thing that I don't particularly like about this one is the red pins in the blue. on the uniform, but overall, he's super posable. You know, you can get him into a bunch of those classic Spidey poses, and overall, just absolutely love these two together. And for number two, as a change of pace, um, I have this Goku, uh, Kid Goku from Bandai. It was a San Diego Comic Con special edition release. I absolutely love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. They were, they really came to prominence as I was a young teenager. Dragon Ball, I particularly love because it's more about the adventure and less about these huge battles, which, don't get me wrong, Dragon Ball Z, absolute classic. But I do love Dragon Ball as well. And this one is Goku in his blue uniform before he gets his orange uniform from Master Roshi. Um, Super posable. He comes with multiple faces, tons of hands, accessories. Um, Absolutely love this figure here. There's so many things you can do with it. He does look great. I love the sculpt on it, and overall, he is one of my favorites that I have. And lastly, for number one on my list, which this is why I said figure sets, because obviously you can see there are all four turtles on the desk here. Um, it's the NECA TMNT movie set. I could not choose just one, so I wanted to bring all four of them out together. They are absolutely my favorite figures that I own. Um, Growing up, I was a huge TMNT fan. Probably more than anything else was Ninja Turtles. Um, Always loved the Ninja Turtles. I remember going and watching the movies in theaters and watching them on VHS until I wore the tapes out. And I've always had a love for the Turtles. And then when I finally found these figures, I couldn't not get them. They are the one exception to my typical rule, as most of my figures I collect, I do not collect the MCU or DCEU figures with the from the live action characters. Because with my superheroes and comic book characters, I typically like them to look like the cartoons and the comic books versus realistic people. Whereas these guys are just absolutely amazing. The detail that they managed to get into these figures, from the texture and just the detail, the accessories, everything that went into these figures is just absolutely amazing. So I had to get these, but these are definitely my favorite figures that I have. Don was always my favorite as a kid. So, but they can be a little stiff. I know NECA, a lot of people have things with the NECA joints being so stiff and all, and having to loosen them up and everything. I don't really move them around too much, but they just look so good. They're definitely my favorites that I own. Alright, so there you have it, guys. That's my list of my top favorite figures that I currently own. I do have some pre-orders coming up, and maybe one of those will take their spot in the top list once they come in. But as of right now, these are my favorites that I own, and the collection is ever expanding. So tell me what you guys think. Do you have any of these personally? Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you have problems with yours? And as always, If you would, please leave a like or a comment if you enjoy the content. And I thank you all and see you next video.